Good evening. How are you today? Did you enjoy the sessions? Good. Because you worked very hard today and you are going, I hope you promise you will be working hard tomorrow, we decided to organize this event for you together with Jeremy. And because we're celebrating our 15th anniversary, I know you have heard about it a lot of times since yesterday, but because it's a kind of a birthday year for us, we decided that only having lecture sessions will not be enough. So we're very lucky to have Jeremy here, who is also going to entertain us today, actually, with Shakespeare being involved. I would like to invite you to come closer and enjoy the evening. And we also have some food here, there, entertainment, so please help yourself. Feel like at home, enjoy the evening.
So I just want to greet also everyone who's joining us live again, because we are live streaming this music show. Please help yourself with the reception. I just want to add two things. But this is a repetition of what I said. So you know Jeremy Harmonia's musicians. You're going to enjoy it. It's fantastic. I've experienced his rehearsals. But just two facts about him. He has started learning violin at the age of 43. So it's never late to learn a new instrument. And he's playing in Cambridge Philharmonic Orchestra. So let's put our hands together for him because he's super talented.
Thank you. I think a little bit. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you very much. Look, the British Council, 15 years in Armenia, and of course the British Council has many roles, but one of its roles is to spread the culture of Britain to the world. And if you're talking about culture and British culture, English culture, you can't get more central than this man on the screen. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare, this is a portrait of William Shakespeare. Well, we think it is. There are about 4 or 5 portraits of William Shakespeare, and this is the most likely to be accurate, but we're not quite sure. In fact, we don't know an awful lot about William Shakespeare, and there's some controversy about that. And as somebody said in one of the sessions we did today, there's some people think that maybe Shakespeare didn't write Shakespeare. I don't believe that. I think this man was amazing. He was born on April the 23rd, 1564. Or maybe he wasn't. Maybe he was born a few days earlier. We're not quite sure, but his name appears in the church records on the 26th of April in Stratford-on-Avon, and so the 23rd of April is taken to be his birthday, particularly because he died on the 23rd of April, 1616. So there's a nice symmetry about him being born and dying on the same day. Incidentally, for Europeans, it's fascinating that he died on the same day as a man called Miguel de Cervantes Saavedra, the great Spanish writer who wrote Don Quixote. And the question is, how come William Shakespeare is so much more widely known than Cervantes? And I think the reason is because Shakespeare was so multi-talented. He wrote plays, he wrote poetry, he wrote masques. He wrote 33, maybe 36 plays. There's a little doubt about the ones at the end because we're not sure whether he wrote them or whether they were collaborations. Do you know any of his plays, anybody? Romeo and Juliet, Hamlet, Macbeth, King Lear, Midsummer Night's Dream, Twelfth Night, The Taming of the Shrew, and so on. Hundreds of plays, and what you've just told me is the incredible variety of genres he wrote in. So he wrote tragedies like King Lear and Hamlet and Macbeth, which are tragedies usually about ambition or a fear of death or something like that. He wrote dramas, historical plays like Henry V, Henry VI, Richard III, all these historical plays. He wrote comedies, such as Much Ado About Nothing, such as The Taming of the Shrew, an uncomfortable play in the 21st century, or The Merchant of Venice, a very uncomfortable play now. And he wrote just this fantastic variety of plays. And the thing about Shakespeare is that he is performed on a stage somewhere in the world every day in 2017, 401 years after he died. And why is that? Because they're so damn good, the plays. And because every age reinterprets the plays and does them the way they want. And he was a man from Stratford-on-Avon, which is a lovely little town right in the middle of England. He's buried in the church there. And it's got a river, the River Avon, that's why it's Stratford-on-Avon. He was called the Swan of Avon. And 380 something years after he died, or after he was born, I can't do my maths, at the age of 3 months old, my parents moved to Stratford-on-Avon. So I'm a Stratford boy too. And me and Shakespeare, just like that, really. And the result was that from the age of 11 until the age of 22, 23, until I moved away from home, I went to every single play every season. So Shakespeare, for me, became part of my growing up, part of my part of my love for Shakespeare is not just a literature love, it's a kind of home love as well. And the first play that my parents took me to when I was 11 was a play called Twelfth Night. Has anyone seen Twelfth Night? Or read it or something? Let me tell you something about Twelfth Night. Twelfth Night takes place on the island of Illyria, where there lives Duke Orsino. And Duke Orsino is a young man, rich and powerful, and he is suffering from love. He is in love with the most beautiful countess called, help, I'm having a brain failure, with the countess, whose name will come to me in a minute. And he loves her, and he loves her. He loves her so much. And you would think, because he's intelligent and good-looking and rich, that she would love him back. But she doesn't love him at all. I'm sure you've never been in that position where you've loved someone and they don't love you back. Every day. So he's in this, but he's in this state of kind of that awful romantic, depressive love. Oh my God, oh my God. And that's the basic story. And then a ship is wrecked on the rocks of the shore of the island. And everyone is killed. Except for the captain and a beautiful girl called Viola. And Viola is so upset because her twin brother, almost identical in appearance, has been killed and drowned in the accident. I'm sorry about the hum we have here. I can't do anything about it. And so she has a real problem, because if you're a young girl in Shakespeare's time and you're on your own, what do you have to do to be safe? You have to wear a disguise. You disguise yourself as a man. A man. So she dresses as a man. This is a theme that will continue throughout this show. She dresses as a man. And she goes to work in the court of Duke Orsino. You remember Duke Orsino is of course, in love with the Countess. And so Duke Orsino is a miserable bugger. Sorry, a miserable person. And she sees Orsino, and guess what happens the moment she sees him? She falls in love with him. She falls in love with him. Completely falls in love with him. But she can't tell him because she's a man. And so that wouldn't be, it was earlier days then. You can't say that, okay? So she falls in love with him, and there's this wonderful scene where he says, what kind of a woman are you going to marry? he says to this beautiful young man who is called Cesario, but we know is really Viola. He says, what kind of a woman will you marry? And she says, well, someone a bit like you, sir. What kind of, someone who looks like you, and so on. And so he says, well, you know what? Love is what love is. I tell you what, why don't we get someone to sing us a song about love? So he calls the court jester, because in Shakespeare's plays, the jesters and the fools sing the songs. And he calls the court jester, he says, come and sing us a cheerful song about love. But of course, this is Twelfth Night, when nobody is cheerful about love. They're all depressed, you know. So the jester comes along, and instead of singing a cheerful song, he sings a song about love. And I'm hoping that someone is going to, can we have the words? He sings a song about love, only it's not very cheerful at all. In fact, it's bloody miserable. So they listen to this cheerful song. Come away, death, and in sad cypress let me be laid. Fly away, breath. I am slain by a fair, cruel maid. My shroud of white, decked all in you. Oh, prepare it. My part of love, no one so true should share it. No one should share it. No one should share it. Not a flower sweet, on my black coffin let there be laid. Not a friend greet my poor corpse where my bones shall be laid. A thousand sighs to say, lay me, oh, where sad true lover never find my grave. To weep there, no true lover never find my grave. To weep there. Come away, death. Come away, come away. Thank you very much. You're very kind. Now look. The other complication I forgot to mention, of course, is that in Shakespeare's time, women could not go on stage. So that in Twelfth Night, you get this glorious and wonderful situation where a man dressed as a woman pretends to be a man being a woman. So that when and the Countess is really a man dressed as a woman, oh, she's so beautiful. And this creates all sorts of wonderful humor and things like that. No more so than in a play called Much Ado About Nothing. And in Much Ado About Nothing, it's really about kings and princes, but two of the central characters have become more popular than any others, and they're called Benedict and Beatrice. And it's a wonderful plot that Hollywood movies have copied ever since, because the plot is about two people who absolutely love each other, and more to the point, what they really want to do is that. They're absolutely crazy about each other, and they just want to get together in a secret place and do things. But they think they hate each other. So they spend all their time being incredibly rude about each other. But we know that really they love each other and they want to do that. And their friends decide to play a trick on them. And so they fix it so that they both get to understand that the other one loves the other one. And so eventually they fall in love, and we all go, thank God for that. It takes 2.5 hours, and they finally fall in love, and it's great. Now, throughout the play, men say horrible things about women. Women, you can't trust women. Women, they're terrible. Women betray you. Women this, women that. And then one of the characters sings a song which is kind of the antidote to that. And the thing about Shakespeare is it doesn't matter what kind of music you give him, it's going to work. So let's have a look at this next one. So this is, let's see if you can do a rock song for Shakespeare. Can you do Shakespeare to this? Sigh no more, ladies, sigh no more. Men are deceivers ever. One foot in the sea and one on shore, to one thing constant never. So sigh not so and let it go, and be both brave and bonny, converting all your cares and woe to hey nonny nonny. So good. Sing no more, ditties, sing no more of dumps so dull and dreary. The fraud of men was effortless since summer first was leafy. Whoa! So sigh not so and let it go, and be bold, brave and bonny, converting all your cares and woe to hey nonny nonny, hey nonny nonny, hey nonny. Oh God, it's so embarrassing. When old men, it's so embarrassing when old men try to be rock stars, isn't it? Oh, the Rolling Stones, I don't know. Anyway, so you can do anything with a Shakespeare song. There are songs in almost all Shakespeare plays. And one of the problems, of course, is that we don't really know what music was used. They're songs from the street, songs he borrowed, folk songs, popular songs of the time, and we don't really know what music he used, and that's why people, including me, write their own tunes for Shakespeare's songs. One of Shakespeare's plays is called Love's Labour's Lost, and it's not very funny, and it's not that popular, but it's sort of a comedy, and it's about 4 gentlemen who decide that they would be better off without women. So they decide to spend a year of being men and studying and being intellectual without being distracted by you guys. But of course, and they all swear that they're not going to look at women, and the king doesn't let women come to the court. But of course, secretly, all of the men go and meet some women. And then it all gets a bit, and even the king falls in love with the princess. And then everybody discovers that while they all said they weren't talking to women, they were actually talking to women and doing other things with women. And so it looks as if everybody's going to be happy. Except at the end, the princess says, "Oh dear, my father's just died, so we can't talk to you anymore for a year." So it's all a bit gloomy. But at the end of it, there's a song about the seasons. And this song, you won't understand a lot of the words because they're the names of flowers. But there's something you need to know. It's about a cuckoo. Well, a cuckoo's in it. Now, a cuckoo, do you have cuckoos in Armenia and Iran, in places? What do cuckoos sound like? There you go. There you go. Now, cuckoo is also a word for, it sounds a bit like the word cuckold. Do you know what the word cuckold means? Some of you do. Cuckold means a man whose wife also has another boyfriend. And so if you're a cuckold, this is very humiliating. Very humiliating. So this song is about the seasons. Let's have a look at the next one. Thank you so much. So this song is about seasons, and a couple of things to tell you about. These words here, daisies, pied, violets, lady smocks, cuckoo buds, they're all types of flowers and plants. It says shepherds pipe on oaten straws. It means they play little straws to make music, and larks, merry larks are ploughmen's clocks. Farmers get up to the sound of birds singing and so on. So this is when daisies pipe. Doesn't sound very nice, does it? Oh, it'll do. That's the one. Let's try that. When daisies pied and violets blew and pretty maids all silver white, when cuckoo buds of every hue do paint the meadows with delight, the cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. Cuckoo, 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 a word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear. When shepherds pipe on oaten straws, and merry larks are ploughmen's clocks, when turtle treads and rooks and daws, and maidens don their summer smocks, the cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he. Cuckoo, 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 a word of fear, unpleasing to the married ear. Now this is a song about. This is a song, I haven't finished yet. This is a song about the seasons. So we've had spring and summer, and now we go to winter. And this is now about winter and icicles and Dick blowing on his nails and so on. And this time we have the owl. And what do owls sound like in Armenia? Owls, what do they sound like? To-wit, to-woo, to-wit, to-woo. And he's watching, and Greasy Joan doth keel the pot. That means to stir the pot. But Greasy Joan might have been another name for a woman who has a different kind of job, if you understand me. When icicles hang by the wall, and Dick the shepherd blows his nail, when Tom brings logs into the hall, and milk comes frozen home in pail, when ways be foul and ways be foul, then nightly sings the staring owl. To wit, to woo, to wit, to woo, a merry note, while Greasy Joan doth peel the pot. When all around the wind doth blow, and coughing drowns the parson's sores, when birds sit brooding on the snow, and Marion's nose looks red and raw, when cooks are something on the boil, then nightly sings the staring owl. Cuckoo. No, he doesn't sing, he sings to wit, to woo. Wrong bird. To wit, to woo, a merry note, while Greasy Joan doth keel the pot. To wit, to woo, a merry note, while Greasy Joan doth keel the pot. Cuckoo. I'm going to sing you now what I think is the most beautiful song lyrics Shakespeare ever wrote. And for anyone who's interested, if you remember this morning, I'm tuning my guitar differently. And it is now in Dadgad. Okay, so in a play called Cymbeline, which is incredibly complicated. It's so complicated, the story of Cymbeline, that in Victorian times, when you bought a ticket to Cymbeline, you could come out of the theatre, and if you could explain the story to the person who gave you the ticket, they'd give you your money back, because it was so complicated. So here we are, here's a situation in which two brothers are in exile, and they're soldiers, and they're joined by another young soldier, a beautiful young boy, and he joins them, and then he is killed, and the brothers who've fallen in love with the boy in a way are absolutely heartbroken, and they cover his body with flowers, and they sing the most beautiful song, Shakespeare's most beautiful lyric, and they sing this song to the body. And what they don't know, because this is a Shakespeare play, is of course the body is not the body of a soldier at all. It's not even the body of a boy. It's a she, because this is Shakespeare. And it's not just she is their long lost sister. And it's really silly and funny. How does Shakespeare manage? How does he manage with that absurdity? How does he manage to produce this song? Let's have a look. Fear no more the heat of the sun, nor the furious winter's rages. Thou thy worldly task hast done, home art gone, and ta'en thy wages. Golden girls and lads all must, as chimney sweepers, come to dust, as chimney sweepers come to dust. Fear no more the frown of the great, thou art past the tyrant's stroke. Care no more to cloak nor read, to thee the reed is as the oak. The sceptre learning physic must, all follow this and come to dust, all follow this and come to dust. Fear no more the lightning flash, nor the old dreaded thunderstone. Fear not slander, censure rash, thou hast finished joy and moan. All lovers young, all lovers must consign to thee and come to dust, consign to thee and come to dust. No exercise or harm thee, no witchcraft charm thee, ghost unlaid forbear thee, nothing ill come near thee. Quiet consummation have, and renowned be thy grave. Quiet consummation have, and renowned be thy grave. I'm a folk singer. I'm in the British folk tradition series, and I sing in folk clubs all the time, and moving away from Shakespeare for a couple of songs, and then we'll come back for 2 short songs, and then we'll finish. Moving away from Shakespeare, I want to sing a song that you're going to join in on. And it's a song which I first heard in a show in Glasgow in Scotland, where the whole cast sang this song at the end. And then I heard it in another show, and then there's a really famous show in London at the moment called Warhorse, which is about the war, and the cast sing that at the end. And I think it's a really good song for teachers. I'm serious. Because the message of this song, well, you'll see, let's have a look at the words. The message for the song is only remembered for what we have done. and you're going to sing the chorus with me. And I won't teach it to you, you'll pick it up very quickly. And you'll see in each case that the third line of the chorus is borrowed from the verse before. Does that make sense? Fading away like the stars in the morning, losing your light in the glorious sun. Thus shall we pass from this earth and its glory, only remember for what we have done. Only remember, only remember, only remember for what we have done. Thus shall we pass from this earth and its glory, only remember for what we have done. Only the truth that in life we have spoken, only the seeds that in life we have sown, these shall pass onwards when we are forgotten. Only remember for what we have done. Only remember, only remember, only remember for what we have done. These shall pass onwards when we are forgotten. Only remembered for what we have done. Horses and men, plowshares and traces, the line in the earth and the path of the sun. Season by season we mark nature's graces, only remembered for what we have done. Only remember, only remembered, only remembered for what we have done. Season by season we mark nature's graces, only remembered for what we have done. Who'll sing the anthem? Who'll tell the story? Will the line hold, or will it scatter and run? Shall we at last be united in glory, only remembered for what we have done? Only remember, only remember, only remember for what we have done. Shall we at last be united in glory, only remembered for what we have done? Only remember for what we have done. Thank you very much. Now, thank you. Thank you. We'll now look. I'm going to do a commercial. I hope you don't mind. I've got a CD. If you like my music, I have a CD, and I'd love you to buy it and take it away, or give me a penny and take it away, or something like that. And I'm just going to play you all the music that you're hearing tonight, except for that music, is music I've written. But the words, obviously, so far have been Shakespeare's. I just want to sing you one of my own songs now about what I think is one of the greatest crises that the world is facing in 2016 and 17, and it's not Donald Trump. It's the fact that this world is full, as you very well know, of people fleeing their countries and trying to find refuge and homes away from the suffering they have in other countries. So I saw a photograph on the BBC website of some kids in Aleppo in Syria, and they were burning tires to make black smoke, because they thought that if they made black smoke, this would stop the Russian planes, or I don't know whose planes, from bombing them. And this seemed to me to be a really poignant image, and other images, especially of child refugees. So this is a song called Burning Tires. There in the photograph, proud grubby faces in front of a pile of burning tires. The Children's Defence Force to stop the big aeroplanes from dropping their bombs from the skies. But as for me, when I look back, I remember sunshine, the midges that danced in the heat, lemonade, swimming in clear streams and staying up late for a treat. That's the life that they should be having, summer sweet. There in the photograph, down at the water's edge, a young boy, face down in the sand. The glittering waves wash his poor lifeless body, bereft of a future once planned. But when I look back, I remember surfing, all the fun that we had at Polzeth. The wind on our bodies, the wet sand beneath us, warm towels, laughing, catching our breath. That's the life that he should have had instead of this pointless death. And there in the photograph, knee-deep in muddy ground, a small girl stands all alone, clutching a plastic doll. She's a refugee, trying to remember a place called home. But as for me, when I look back, I remember the fireside, tea and biscuits and a story for bed. Under the covers, safe from the thunder, and nothing much to trouble my young head. That's the life that she should be having instead. But this is the life we have given them, with our greed and our bloody wars. Our hearts break when we see the photographs, but it's us, we are the cause. And here in this last photograph, taken just yesterday, looks like everything is fine. Look, the children are growing up, we're happy together. You can almost hear the laughter flow like wine. But in my mind's eye, still see the Children's Defence Force, the young boy lying dead on the beach. The refugee children fleeing wars that we made for them and praying it's safety they'll reach. If only we could learn the lessons the photographs teach. 'Cause they're in the photograph. They're in the photographs. They're in those photographs. Thank you very much. Let's go back to Shakespeare, nearly finished, just 2 or 3 little more things. So in the play called Two Gentlemen of Verona, what's his name? Proteus loves Julia and Julia loves Proteus. They love each other so much that they give each other tokens to wear. And then Proteus, who lives in Verona, goes to Milan to meet his friend Valentine. And when he gets to Milan, he meets Valentine and Valentine's girlfriend Sylvia. And Proteus, because he's a man, instantly falls in love with Sylvia. Like that, forgetting Julia altogether. Julia, who's back in Verona, misses her boyfriend, whom she knows loves him very much, so she decides to go and visit him in Milan. If you're a single girl in Shakespeare's time and you want to travel alone, what do you have to do? Dress as a man. So Julia dresses as a man to go to Milan to see Proteus, only to discover that Proteus, far from being the faithful lover she thought, had fallen in love with Sylvia. But of course, unbelievably, how is this possible? Proteus doesn't recognize that the young man who's come to be with him is the same person as his girlfriend. For some reason, he can't even recognize this fact. So she becomes his servant. And she has to stand by watching him pay his love to Sylvia. And she can't say anything because of the customs of the time. It must be torture. And in one particularly excruciating scene, she has to stand with him under Sylvia's balcony while he sings her this unbelievably, what can you say, exaggerated song. Who is Sylvia? What is she that all the swains commend her? Holy, wise and fair is she, the heavens such grace did send her, that she might admired be, that she might admired be. So Julia's having to listen to this stuff. Is she kind as she is fair? For beauty lives with kindness. Love doth to her eyes repair, and cure him of his blindness. And being cured, inhabits there, and being cured, inhabits there. And now he's really trying to get Sylvia. Listen to this last verse. Then to Sylvia let us sing, for Sylvia is excelling. She excels most everything upon this dull earth dwelling. To her let us garlands bring, to her let us garlands bring. And then it all goes terribly wrong, and then he behaves Harvey Weinstein towards Sylvia, which is not good at all. And Proteus discovers, and Valentine discovers and gets very angry, and then Proteus says, I'm terribly sorry, and then Julia says, I'm not really a boy, I'm Julia, and he says, oh my God, I loved you all the time, and then everybody loves each other and everybody's happy. So it's all right. And so that's, and one last song, because we've talked a little bit, we've talked a little bit about boys and girls dressing as boys, and yes, there's tragedy and death and morality and religion in Shakespeare, but there is a lot of sex, to be honest, although it's not always necessarily obvious. And there's a play called As You Like It, and in As You Like It, there's this wonderful moment where Audrey and her lover are about to get married because they really, really fancy each other and they love each other, and it's a lot of, it's not just romantic or spiritual love, it's the real physical deal, you know, they really love each other. And so they sing this song to celebrate their love and their sexual desire and all this kind of thing, and it's all about what's sex, really, and hey nonny nonny, with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no. Well, that's a kind of happy, cheerful singing thing, but we're pretty certain it also means. That's exactly what it means. Yes, you've understood it perfectly, sir. It means doing it, and anyway, so this is a cheerful little happy song. Have to change a little. It was a lover and his lass, with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no, to the green cornfields did pass in springtime, the only happy ringtime, when birds do sing hey ding a ding ding, hey ding a ding ding, sweet lovers love the spring. Between the acres of the rye, with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no, these pretty country folk would lie in springtime, the only pretty ringtime, when birds do sing hey ding a ding ding, hey ding a ding ding, sweet lovers love the spring. This carol they began that hour, with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no. But a life is but a flower in springtime, the only happy ringtime, when birds do sing hey ding a ding ding, hey ding a ding ding, sweet lovers love the spring. So therefore take the precious time, with a hey and a ho and a hey nonny no, for love is crowned with a prime in springtime, the only happy ringtime, when birds do sing hey ding a ding ding, hey ding a ding ding, sweet lovers love the springtime, the only happy ringtime, when birds do sing hey ding a ding ding, hey ding a ding ding, sweet lovers love the springtime, the only happy ringtime, when birds do sing hey ding a ding ding, hey ding a ding ding, sweet lovers love the springtime. Springtime, springtime. So nice. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. You've been so kind to listen to me, and yes, please. You've been so kind to listen to me, and the show's coming to the end, but I realize that I can't leave because I know you're all in suspense. You're all in suspense about what happened to poor Viola, who's in love with Count Orsino, who's in love with the Countess who doesn't love him, who's mourning, and Viola's mourning her brother Sebastian, her twin brother, who died in the shipwreck. Only guess what? He didn't die at all. He survived. And when he comes to court, Viola is thrilled, and she casts off her male clothes. I mean, she's wearing something underneath, obviously, but she casts off her male clothes, at which point Count Orsino goes, "Oh my God, you're beautiful, I love you, wow." And he falls in love with her, and they get married. Meanwhile, the problem is that the Countess, you see, Count Orsino had been using Viola, who, as you recall, was dressed as a boy. She'd been using him to take messages. He'd been using him to take messages to the Countess. And of course, the problem with that is that the moment that the Countess saw Viola, who she thought was a boy, guess what she did? She fell in love with Viola, because she thought it was a boy. And Viola couldn't say, "I'm not really a boy, I'm a girl, and I don't do girls, that's not me." So, but then when Sebastian turns up and Viola says, "I'm really a girl," and the Countess sees Sebastian, she realizes that it's Sebastian she loves after all, because he really is a boy. And so she marries Sebastian, and Count Orsino marries Viola, and everybody's happy except for a bad guy, but that's another story. Thank you for listening to me. CDs if you want them. And at the end of Twelfth Night, the stage is completely empty, and the jester, do you remember the one who sang "Come Away Death," comes onto the stage all by himself, and he goes, "When that I was and a little tiny boy, with a hey-ho, the wind and the rain, a foolish thing was but a toy, and the rain it raineth every day, the rain it raineth every day, the rain it raineth every day, the rain it raineth every day. And when I came to man's estate, with a hey-ho, the wind and the rain, 'gainst knaves and fools men shut the gate, and the rain it raineth every day, the rain it raineth every day, the rain it raineth every day, the rain it raineth every day. And when I came, alas, to wife, with a hey-ho, the wind and the rain, with swaggering could I never thrive, and the rain it raineth every day, the rain it raineth every day, the rain it raineth every day, the rain it raineth every day. A long time ago the world began, with a hey-ho, the wind and the rain, but that's all one, our play is done, and we strive to please you every day, we strive to please you every day, we strive to please you every day, we strive to please you every day. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. I think this is one evening we are not going to forget anytime soon. Thank you so much for cheering us up. Thank you so much, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the evening.